Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector. We'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. We're going to be playing on the Firecast Outpost. It's going to be a season control map with 2,000 points. I'm going to be playing with the Orcs so we can play around with the new unit. And we're going to be playing against the Necrons. It's a 2,000 point army size, 80 point limit, 80 point target, 8 turn limit. So we'll see how this goes. I think actually these vehicles might be pretty good against the Necron. So I've got 2 Weird Boys and a big mech to give us some range damage protection. Some Pain Boys, 3 Flash Gits, 3 Ludas. I brought 2 custom Blastas here, 3 War Bikes, and then 1 Gretchen to soak up some Overwatch for our troops as we are advancing here. So hopefully the big mech will give us a force field, the Weird Boys will give us increased damage, and also give us the option to reduce damage and increase our damage output with the Warpath, blind any Necrons that may be in our way, and just keep creeping all around and then not be too many points. And then with multiple hero units, that should give us access to not having our heroes get sniped by the Necrons, because that is one of the things they're quite good at, is assassinating HQ units depending on what kind of forces they end up bringing with them here. And then the Pain Boys, in addition to letting us heal, will also give us some bonus HP. So that's what you're seeing with those extra little blue circles that's on the, blue bars that are by the HP bars for our units there, if you're unfamiliar with how the Orcs work, because they really have an ability to get some real death blobs going here with their units, because they can really synergize a lot of buffs here. So I'll try to move the Pain Boy up so these guys will have additional HP in case I accidentally activate any Overwatch while we're walking, like this. Alright, so we know he's got those guys over there. I probably should just heal him, but I should also make sure that he doesn't have other guys over here that I would prefer to heal. Alright, so he's got the Tomb Blades there with the Twin Gauss Blasters. And now this is post-patch, so that means the Tomb Blades now have the Resurrection ability. I did have some videos saved up there because my family and I went on vacation, and so I was going to be gone for a couple weeks. And so we didn't have, I had to save up some videos, so if you're wondering why I haven't shown off some of the newer units yet, that's what was going on there. But all these are going to be with the new units, and I'm also planning on getting some matches coming out now with that new game mode that they've placed too. I'm a little sad that I haven't uploaded very many videos of those yet. I did try to get a match or 2 before I went on vacation, but the opponents kept quitting matches on me, and I just couldn't guarantee that I'd be able to complete a match before that. So, but we're trying to get here. One of them should come back. Yep. So one came back here. So I should be able to finish those guys off, because what I don't want is for them to do a bunch of hit and run on us. So okay, so we got some Tomb Blades. Interesting, he's actually got a Hex Mark Destroyer there, their little assassin. I don't see a lot of players bring those, actually. Can you... No, you're out of range. I kind of hate to bring those guys all the way over here. Maybe what I do is I bring those guys to here, then I can use the rocks here as partial cover for these guys that are down here, and then these guys should easily be able to kill the Tomb Blades there, so that's pretty decent. And now we also have a little choke point set up here, so that should protect the rest of our ranged units. Actually, you know, 55% chance to hit. I wonder if I could just kill this guy. Yeah, pretty close. Alright. Well, at this rate, I don't think other guys are going to get injured, so let's try to get the heal going. Now, if I bring you over to here, let's do this. Let's move you up to here. Okay. So that means I should be able to move up with you guys safely without triggering any overwatch. Let's get all you guys together. And let's put Warpath on these guys. And I could move you up to here. And I think you can kill this guy. Yeah. I don't know if I should waste my ability. I think I'd want to go for a guaranteed kill, though. I feel like this is way overkill, though. Yeah, so he's down. I probably should have waited. I shouldn't have used that ability. Well, either way, this is going pretty well so far. Let's start moving you up so we don't lose our bonus HP, because it only has an area of effect for 2 squares. Oh, and then I moved him 3 after I said that. Alright, let's move you to here. Let's move you up to here. Move you up another square. Move you up to here. Alright, let's pop smoke, and I guess we'll use you to trigger some overwatches. Alright, good. So that's a 60 and a 50%. Let's see. I guess let's move you up one more. Put you over here so you're in kinda cover. And start working on these Tomb Blades. Okay. Once you come back, yep. I don't think you're gonna be able to kill those guys. I don't want the Lich Guard to charge me. So let's move you over to here. Let's have you shoot into the Praetorians, because you should be able to kill a couple models there. A couple came back. Can you get a kill of that 50% chance to hit? No. Alright. I was kind of thinking you were going to be able to do that. Well, let's run you down to here. Or do I just run you over? Because you should definitely be able to kill these guys. There you go. And then we'll pull you back. Maybe we bring you up to here and have... Oop, we got some death marks over there. Alright, that wasn't great. I guess we'll put you on Overwatch in case he tries to charge into our guys, and then you might be able to suppress him. We'll get you up to here. Let's pull you back. Maybe move you up to here. And have you shoot into these guys. Alright, there you go. You killed 2. Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to land that other one. Alright, we'll turn you so he doesn't warp over and get some rear attacks on our guys, because I don't know if he's going to have a bunch of filleted ones over here or not. Alright, that looks good. Oh, I still have you. I think you should do pretty decent damage against the... Yeah, you do good damage against them. Oh, you missed one of your shots and now he's still alive. I was going to say, because with all the armor piercing that gun has, with pretty decent chances to hit, that should allow us to do good damage against the Necron units going forward. And then we still have our flamethrower attack to use. That's our free action. Alright, I think you're kind of out of range, so maybe we just kind of keep you back. Alright, yeah, let's just pull you back. I just don't want to risk him assassinating our guys here, because we know he's got death marks, and they'll have their assassinate ability set up where it gives them increased crit chance and increased accuracy on a marked target. So that should be good for us. Let's see. Yeah, orcs are one of the few factions in this game that can actually outshoot the Necrons, which is a bit ridiculous. But they've been buffed really high. Alright, so he's charging in, I assume? No. I think he just literally moved his guys over here. Oh, there you go. I was gonna say, I would have thought that would have been within charge range for the attacking the Gretchen or the flash gets there. Alright. And then I have my own guys in this area, so if you're unfamiliar with the season control, how that ends up working is he needs to move his units onto this area in the center to score points, and then he gets 5 points for every unit that's on there, and then I can subtract 5 points from his score with every one of the units I have on there, and then I get points by the amount of units I'm killing from his roster here. So your objectives are a little bit different depending on if you're the attacker or the defender here.
No beauties over there. Be with you in a minute.
Where are the rest of his forces? Okay, so he's got some Immortals, he's got an Annihilation Barge. His chance to hit that was probably pretty bad, so it probably would have made more sense for him to use that lightning attack on the flash gets as well. So I think what I can do is I can just run him over here, and that should allow me to flame down those filleted ones. I've got you here.
What's the plan?
You're 66. I'd also like to take out his Locust Heavy Destroyers.
Orcs is the best, and us flashkits are the best orcs.
You got a pretty good chance to hit here, so maybe we just do that. Let you attack. Because he does really good really good armor piercing damage these days. I don't know. I could get you up there to burn, but actually I could probably get him up here to burn these filleted ones already. Let's get some heals going there, because I need to keep my flash gets alive. Maybe I attack here, because you have a pretty decent chance to hit, and of course you have to hit the one that's still full health. We'll get you over to here. Let's flame this guy down, because it's a heavy flamer, but it only has a range of 1, not a range of 2. And then that's a squad wipe, so that'll stop the Necrons from resurrecting. Or reanimating, I guess is the proper term for that. Not a huge fan of that change, to be honest. I could have you shoot into those guys. Man, it certainly felt like you missed more than what I was expecting. Alright, for some reason, these filleted ones don't have a zone of control. But I now can bring you over to here, and you can now flame down these guys. And now they're squad wiped, because you don't get to reanimate when you squad wipe a unit. You guys are still here. Unfortunately, I don't think your pistol's going to be able to get over there to attack the Praetorian, because that would have been a good option. Alright. Well, I suppose what I could do is just walk you down here, and you can just attack them. And if you hit the right one, you should kill them both. Yep, there you go. Alright. Now, I would like to kill the Annihilation Barge. So I think we just attack here, right? And then that ability lets me get extra shots for the amount of for sacrificing my movement, so that's why I couldn't move those guys. This is way overkill for me to do that. I could bring you over to here to shoot into those immortals,
If we have to, we'll move.
because they're going to be a dangerous guy.
Looters and shooters.
Ooh, I was hoping you were going to get some squad kills there. That way we could start. He's got some scarabs over there too. Yeah, I'm worried about the Locust Heavy Destroyers because those are going to assassinate my vehicles and also kill my heroes. And I need those guys to be buffing up my... buffing up the rest of my forces here. I guess I can just bring these looters down to here and try to shoot into these immortals again. Yeah, it took out 4 of them.
Ready to saw bones. Oh, no. You's looking at me.
You know what I probably should have done is, I bet she's going to be within blind range. Oh, he's one short. Yeah, see, if I would have done this, I would have lowered his evasion. We would have done more damage, and I bet that I could have focused fire down that annihilation barge had I been thinking. I was kind of hoping I was going to get these guys up more. Do I want to use my ability here? I mean, who's still left? I guess we have a decent amount of guys still needing to shoot. So this will get them 45% additional shots. And so especially on the war bikes that have a ton of shots here, or the flash gets, both of those can be very powerful. So let's move you over to here. You've got a 72% chance to hit here, so let's sacrifice the more movement for even more shots. And you can see we just got our kill there. So if I bring you over to here... Here, let's move you back, because now you should be able to move up a little bit more. I gotta keep you within 2 squares so you can get the bonus HP, though. That's 72. I kinda hate to waste your movement, but I really gotta get the kill here. Alright, good. When they're back, so now I just need to finish off those few little units here. So let's get you up to here, and you should be able to shoot here. Yep, good. So those ones are down. And maybe I put you over to here to be in cover, since you're already pretty injured. And then you can come over to here. And you can finish off these Locust Heavy Destroyers. Nice. Now let's turn use, because what we don't want is for any melee units that he has to be able to get rear attacks, because that will negate our evasion. Alright, I still have you as well. I could attack into the immortals there. Honestly, those scarabs are going to be pretty annoying, though. They might lock me down in melee. And that'll affect our accuracy, so maybe we just use these guys to finish those guys off. I'm actually a little shocked with all those bonus shots that didn't do more damage. So yeah, I should have definitely attacked the Immortals or the Death Marks there. Ah, he's got his Overlord back there too, so that's where a lot of his resources are. He's got a combat-oriented Overlord there. So if you're gonna do that, because the war scythe that he has is an amazing weapon, and it'll effectively allow him to squad wipe almost any of my units if he uses both of his attacks. And if he attacks low tier guys, he can sometimes even squad wipe low tier units with a single attack, because he has 2 swipes with his scythe, and each one does multiple attacks with decent splash. It's kind of like the lieutenant and the Thunderhammer that he has there. Let's just keep you back here, because what I really need... Well, I could also move you up, though, to give these guys some ranged the force field. And if he wants to focus fire into these guys, that may not be the worst. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I forgot about you. I kind of hate to waste your attack taking out that one Praetorian, because there's only one unit there, and I have more units on the zone of control than he does, so he won't even score any points. So I guess let's just have you shoot into the Immortals here. But yeah, so when you're going to invest all that money into your Overlord, because he's already kind of an expensive unit, because he allows you to summon in your Necron warriors every few turns. And then he has really good command point abilities as well. If you're going to spend the points on the Scythe, then you want to be able to have a different unit be your hero, or be your HQ commander, so you can actually use him to fight. Because now he's stuck in this situation where he has all these... Oh, that's going to explode. Yep. He's got all these points invested into there, but now he's scared to bring him into combat. And then he blew up my war bike, and that explosion actually killed his Treyarch Praetorians. That worked out well for us.
Come here so we can smash your teeth out.
Yeah, so there you go. So he did his attack there with the... Alright, yeah.
He's too far. Now they're hitting us.
Yeah, there goes another war bike.
Oh no, he's looking at me.
Alright, I suspect this is probably a newer player from what I'm seeing thus far. Let's see. So...
Lures have the best shooters.
You have a 90% chance to hit there. Maybe let's just run you down to here. I can run you all the way over to here, and you should have a really good chance to hit that Annihilation Barge. Let's have you heal here to try to get those guys back up. Ooh, don't blow up my war bike. Alright, so now that'll get you within optimal range to shoot into the Annihilation Barge. Alright, you almost got the kill. Let's move you up. I can have you move to there, and then you can shoot into the Annihilation Barge. Or shoot into the Death Marks.
What now?
Alright, let's move you up one. You can use that, and you should be able to just kill it, and that will explode. I was hoping that was going to be enough to kill those Immortals there.
Orcs is the best, and us flush kits are the best orcs.
Alright, that's 52. You should be able to get the kill. Okay. And then because it's squad wipe, nobody should reanimate. We've almost got you to enough points where you can use your tier 1 ability again. Because the orcs are one of the few factions where their tier 1 ability is crazy strong. With all those additional shots, especially when you're playing as a ranged faction. Alright, let's get you to here. You can shoot here and try to take out these death marks. Oh my gosh, did you really not get the kill there? Let's run these guys down. They should actually be able to get the kill with their shootas here. Yep, there we go. You're over here.
If we have to, we'll move.
Let's move you guys over to here. Let's give ourselves the 45% additional shots here. In fact, if I move these guys... Oh, I can't move you over. Well... I guess we're going to do that because that's going to hit more units. And then you're just going to shoot into the warriors here. I was kind of hoping that was going to give us enough momentum to attack again. Alright, let's get you up to here and start shooting into the Overlord. Nice. And then you can come up to here and finish the Overlord. Nice. Oh, that's right. We only have an 80-point target. Alright, so with that, we have claimed victory. So we ended up having our weird boys not do a whole lot for us. We took out Annihilation Barge, Lich Guard, an Overlord, 2 Tomb Blades, a Hexmark Destroyer, a Death Mark, and 2 Locust Heavy Destroyers. The weird boys didn't do much for attacks, but we rarely want them to be in combat. We use them more as buffers here. The big mech had an 89% at ranged accuracy, which is definitely kind of where I expected them to be because we took a couple of real poor shots. One of the Pain Boys had 100% melee accuracy. That's great because I actually find the Pain Boys miss more melee combat than you'd expect. But again, we're using him to be a healer and also a buffer for our units. Our Flash Gits had 83% ranged accuracy, 89%, 77%. So kind of where I would expect and where it was statistically telling us. It says they have 100% melee accuracy, but that's because they hit when they counterattacked and punched those flayed ones. The Ludas actually has surprisingly good accuracy at 96 and 98% and 90% for the third. I suspect that's because they have a little bit of splash, so even when they're partially missing some shots, they're still getting it. Now, they're definitely a really good unit against the Necrons because they have so many shots there, and then especially once you start getting other things stacked up. It says the custom Boom Blasta's accuracies was 93 and 98%. It certainly didn't feel that way, so I suspect what's probably happening is it's taking into account all those free 100% flame attacks that we were doing, because I probably buffed their average up, but I definitely felt that they were missing a bunch of shots. And then our Warbike had anywhere from 71 to 82% accuracy. That's a bit lower than I typically see. And then the Gretchen had 85% accuracy. So definitely a match that was overwhelmingly in our favor. Like I said, from some of the movement I was seeing and then for this force selection, I definitely suspect this was a newer player. So my feedback for him would be, I think the Locust Heavy Destroyers to assassinate heroes is a great plan. That's what I like to do when I'm playing against the orcs too, because if you land both of your shots, you can one-shot a Pain Boy, and if you're doing all 4 shots, you'll be able to take out the big mech or any of my other hero units. And if you can snipe out my HQ commander, then you'll stop me from using the Mordaka ability, which will give everybody additional shots. The Death Marks is also a cheaper way of doing that, because you can sit there and use the Mark for Death ability, and that'll increase your accuracy, and then they're really good at sniping down single target units. As you can see, they're not exactly great at attacking lower tier units because they all focus fire their shots, so it allows you to snipe out a Flash Git or something like that, but in terms of lower tier infantry, they really struggle. The Hexmark Destroyer seems like it would be a really good choice against the orcs, but because it has such low range, and the orcs are actually mostly a ranged force, and most players when they're playing as orcs against Necrons are going to have their longer range units, I think the Hexmark Destroyer is a really bad choice, because it's going to be really hard for you to get him into combat, and he's going to be really easily sniped by the rest of your unit, by the rest of my units. The Tomb Blades are definitely a viable option, but you're going to want to use those to do hit and run tactics. You kind of advance them in front of your army, and so that allowed me to take those out. The Overlord, I think, is always a good pick, but if you're going to give them that Death Sight, again, you need to get them into combat, and if not, you want to actually have them have the lower tier weapons, so that way you can save some points to allow you to get some higher tier or some different units. The Lich Guard can be good. As you can see, it took me a little bit of time to get through their armor, and then they have the damage reductions with the shields and things, but they're just sometimes hard to get into combat, as what you were experiencing there. And then the Annihilation Barge, I used to be a huge fan of the Annihilation Barge. I think they actually made some changes to it now where it's going to be more viable, but it was just a little bit too out front. What you really want to do with that is get as many kills as you can to get as much momentum there, and then you start to use that as a hit and run attack vehicle too, because once that momentum's up, because it's a single unit unit. That was a bad way of saying that. It has a large HP pool. And what happens is with the Necron ability is the more momentum they have, they'll heal for a percentage of that momentum. So if you can feed the Annihilation Barge a bunch of momentum, it can heal for well over 100 HP every turn. And so especially when you're playing factions that may have trouble with vehicles, let's say the most notorious of which being the Necrons, or the Tyranids, then you can keep that unit alive for a long period of time as they're continuing to be attacking whatever's coming at you there. So that would be my feedback there. And then again, kind of keeping your guys somewhat together, because you were just slowly trickling in units and allowing me to pick them off. Now, I appreciate what you're trying to do. You know, you're trying to get to that season control point so you can start accruing your value for your army, but you need to have enough guys there to overwhelm my units that are also on there, because I was able to just have 1 or 2 units on the season control field and I was out scoring you. So I think if you would have had more points, like gotten rid of the Lich Guard, instead going with more of the Praetorians, that would have worked out a lot better for you. You know, the Immortals are a really good option. I mean, you went with the Living Lightning weapon, which is a very good once you get them into range, but it actually can sometimes paradoxically make sense for you to actually go more with the Gauss blasters for those guys, so they have more range and they have more damage. Because as you could see, as we were getting into range combat with each other, you had the advantage where 2 of your models would reanimate, and then I'd have to waste another attack killing them unless I could totally squad wipe them. So that will slightly allow you to outtrade my army when we're getting into a shooting contest. But the orcs, since we have flame weapons and you don't, your Living Lightning is your equivalent of flamers, and it's not nearly as powerful. I can totally squad wipe your low tier army, and then with how they've reworked the reanimation protocol, if I can squad wipe you, you don't get to use that reanimation protocol. So unfortunately that really lowers the effectiveness of your low tier army, especially with like the filleted ones and the warriors, things like that. So definitely the changes have pushed things way into my favor with the orc changes over time. And then the custom boom blasters, I think, are definitely a good vehicle. I really like them. They tend to miss more attacks than I would expect, but you can really buff them up substantially using the Big Mac and then the Pain Boys, and then increasing their damage and then damage reduction with the Weird Boys. You get the flame attack, that's for free. Now you just got to remember that it's one of the only heavy flamers in the game that has a range of only 1. It doesn't go to 2. So I was originally thinking I could move them over and flame down both of those flayed ones, but with the range 1, that's not an option. So, and then using your railgun attack before you move to keep it at range, and then move it into close quarters and then move away, since it has all that movement, is probably the best way to go. And then in a match against Necrons, when they're healing and they reanimating and they have low HP, even using that rivet gun ability to be able to let you attack 3 different units, that would have been another real good option for me to have utilized as well. Now, I didn't use it on this matchup, but that would have been another option to help me clear guys off after they spawned in and reanimated at lower HPs. But I definitely think the custom boom blasters are a good vehicle. I'm not sure they are really necessary for the orcs. I don't know if they're going to fill necessarily another bracket or niche that wasn't filled. I think what their thought process is they're trying to get more vehicles with long range to maybe have the Death Trike hero be more viable. But again, he's going to be lowering everybody's accuracy with ranged attacks, and all these vehicles are using ranged attacks. There's nothing melee, so it still doesn't feel great with that Death Trike. So I assume that's what they're trying to do, is between the war bikers and then the boom blasters, you'll have this big highly mobile force, and even with the Death Dreads stacking up increased movements with each other too. But I think it's still contradicts itself with the abilities there, so I'm not sure how viable that will be long term. But I'm definitely interested to see what other people's experience has been with this unit, and if you guys feel the same, or what you found with your opponents that's worked well, not worked well with those custom boom blasters. But so far when I've used it on matches, I've been overall pretty impressed, so I think it's definitely a good unit. So with that, I'm going to sign off for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.